Today is the day that everything changes. One way or another.
What the flick, everybody? Welcome to the program. Ben Mankiewicz, Matt Atchity over there, Christy Lemire, Alonso Duralde. We reviewed The Gray, and now we're going to talk about Man on a Ledge.
Man on a Ledge is about a man on a ledge,
Get out.
in case you're wondering.
Shut up.
But then,
I don't believe it.
as you point out, there's eventually a woman on the ledge, and then there are multiple ledges. So
And multiple
more
guys
men on the ledge.
they lie. Sam Worthington does a horrible job of hiding his Australian accent as a disgraced NYPD cop who threatens to jump off of the 21st floor of the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan.
But why?
But why? He's not really suicidal. Something else must be going on. Perhaps he's trying to deflect attention away from the heist going on across the street. Or not.
Hey, Nick. Hey, you see me? It's your show, bro.
Just make it rain. Okay, Joey, you know what to do. Don't worry. Everyone's looking at me.
Nick, we're in.
I am an innocent man!
I want to mention one other critic, because she wrote a great line. Renee Rodriguez of the Miami Herald.
Is that a guy?
I think it's a woman.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just, anyway, said, reminded of the old Van Halen song as you watched. Jump.
Might as well jump.
Yeah, might as well.
Go ahead and jump. Yeah, there's never any actual threat that he will jump. I guess the only potential source of tension is might he slip? Might his foot slip?
Well,
I don't know.
I was sitting with you, and I was, I'm afraid of heights, and I think that was effective there in the beginning. I was, for the first
the best
few minutes.
part of the movie is all the ledge
Shots
stuff.
where
Yeah.
he pushes out through the hotel window and down to the ground. And yeah, you were squirming. A couple
Totally,
times.
and that was in the first, few minutes of the movie, and then unfortunately it continued.
That's the best this thing has to offer.
Yeah,
is
definitely.
The
and that went
vertigo.
away even too. I mean, that sort of stopped.
After a while, you get used to it, yeah.
But it's not even implausible in a fun way, right? You look at a heist movie like Tower Heist or like Ocean's 11 or whatever, and the fun of it is that, yes, it's unbelievable, but there's this great giddy energy about it, and everyone's good in it, and so you buy it. Here they have the most unbelievable, unlimited supply of like equipment and knowledge, and like they're rappelling down elevator shafts. Like, how do they know how to do all this
How
stuff?
did the people in the heist part of it get that stuff in there? You're right. There's none of the fun
I would
of
not
any of the
put
great
Tower
heists.
Heist on that list.
I
by
like
the way.
Tower Heist better than you guys, but in that it's
Cappy.
in that
There you go.
But the job itself is
Ladderhill
totally impossible, and they pull it off, and you go with it. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and this
is not true here.
And this is one of those movies where like all the surprises are so you can clock them so early. It's here's a rule for movies. It's not a spoiler because I'm going to be vague here, but whenever you see a film and a character actor you recognize is playing a character who seems not integral to the plot, he's integral to the plot.
Yeah, that's everybody here was really sort of cliched and telegraphed, and Ed Burns and Titus Welliver, who were good actors, both played cops exactly the way you expect cops to be played. There didn't seem to be anything to them, and except that because they're who they are, something's up with one of them without
Speaking of
question.
accents, I didn't buy that Ed Burns was a New York cop either. Like, how's a guy from Boston end up
He's
on the
not.
front? Really? 'Cause
Ed Burns is, I
He's
think,
from
in
New
New
York.
York.
Island.
I think
Really?
he's, I think
He
he's
doesn't
in
sound like it.
All movies are set
Well,
there.
then
Okay, but now how about it? Now Elizabeth Banks, for the most part, is okay in this movie, but the part where she wakes up in her apartment and there's the vodka bottles everywhere, and she's supposed to be a big wreck, and she basically has like two pieces of hair that are like slightly out of place, but other than that, looks perfect.
It's not exactly Charlize Theron in Young Adult.
Or Monster, yeah, no, she has got her stuff pulled together, but she's like, hello.
I have to
Please.
quote
And cold, apparently.
Thank you. Yes.
Elizabeth Banks. I can't. I can't criticize it anyway because in the spirit of my friend Craig Bernbach, who works as a sports anchor in Portland, she converted to Judaism, so she can do no wrong.
No, I always like her. I mean, she's fine in this. She's always
the rest of the movie, she's fine, but just her introduction to the film, I laughed out loud. It was so
I
ridiculous.
agree. I think I love Elizabeth Banks. I think she was wrong for this, and I think everybody was wrong for this.
Yeah, didn't this feel like the entire cast was like second choices?
Except the Kira Sedgwick joke is
That's
kind of
it.
funny. Her
The Kira-
playing this very cynical reporter.
Hispanic reporter?
But that's
But
funny.
that's why it's
But that's
funny
why it's funny.
because
She's clearly
she-
not.
She's clearly not Hispanic, but she somehow managed to find some reason to make her last name Morales, which she then pronounces as Morales.
Morales.
And that was funny, but that was 3 lines that each last half a second.
I was disappointed because I felt like the premise of the movie is interesting, like a guy faking a suicide attempt to deflect attention. I thought that could be really interesting, but the execution is just it's boring.
As soon as you found out what was going on, the movie got really dull.
Right.
Like in the beginning when he's
Right.
out there and you know something's happening across the street and he's distracting from it, that was interesting. And then 6 minutes later you find out exactly what, and then 4 minutes after that you find out why.
And then you got another hour. To
And then and who cares?
Right.
And
Now-
everybody is a stock character. Ed
I didn't
Harris
think
is
the movie
evil.
was unwatchable. It felt like it felt like a direct-to-cable movie, right?
No,
like that's what just the
It's the
execution
kind of movie
felt.
you watch on HBO when you have the flu.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't even
Oh, I
pick
didn't
up the
see that.
remote.
What the
It's just like,
hell?
oh,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And it's not the worst way to
Right.
spend
It's not
90
unwatchable.
minutes. Yeah.
It's certainly
I think it's more of a movie you watch on Stars when you have the flu.
right.
Encore.
Yeah, that's right. It's an encore movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was terrible. I just thought it was kind of uninteresting, right? That's
It's
the
very
sin. Is that
bleh,
it's,
yeah.
who cares?
I think it put audiences on the ledge of a nervous breakdown.
Whoa.
Thank you. Okay.
Read your numbers.
Yeah, what do we got?
Can we get out of here?
What do we got? I gave it a 3.
2.
2.
I didn't hate it that much. I give it a 4.5.
That's 2.9, which is about right since I gave it a 3.
Where is it in the tomato world?
Very low.
Yeah.
Last I checked, about 14%.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's all the way up to 17, which, by the way, means Red Tails at 35 is twice as good.
Right.
Bye. See you soon.